International standards with a prestigious ambiance for you to appreciate.
So free we sing, wine and dance. You are my pal of Africa. Want to live your life when you're 6 feet above. You are my pal of Africa. You're gonna work freaky hard like Michael Jackson. You are my pal of Africa. Come on, let's go shine, girl. This is your world. Shine like a diamond, like oh na na na. Every day's a honeymoon and we feel
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time, we would like to start the program. Once more, I would like to welcome you all here for the official unveiling of the 2025 Poate, that is the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo that's happening this year right here in the convention center. Beautiful, beautiful Speak Resort Munyonyo Convention Center. And in your respective capacities, I would like to invite you. So we would like to start the program. My name is Salvador. I'll be leading the proceedings this morning. We start with the anthems, that is the East African anthem and the Uganda national anthem. So please may we rise and we start the program with the anthems. Thank you. Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. As we take our seats, I would like to take this special moment to recognize a couple of people. Firstly, our guest of honor, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, the wonderful Mrs. Doreen Katusime. Thank you so much for keeping time. We'd like to recognize the proprietor and the chairman of Ruparelia Group, His Excellency Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia, who is also here. I will not thank you for keeping time because you stay here. I would like to recognize the president of the Uganda Tourism Association, and that is Mrs. Yogi Virigwa, who is also here. The CEO, Uganda Tourism Board, the wonderful Lilia Jarova. Thank you so much. And others. You're most welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this unveiling. I'm not the right person to officially welcome you, so please allow me invite the Commissioner, the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Mr. Vivian Liazi, to come and officially open the function. Mr. Liazi, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Salvador, and a good morning to you all. Thank you for being in this wonderful place. The soul is very refreshing and energizing to be at the Speak Resort Munyonyo, and thank you, Doctor, for putting up this beautiful place. Ladies and gentlemen, we are opening the tourism season. A lot of good things happened last year, and now we are unpacking the very good things that are going to happen this year. It's actually going to be a very packed year. Today alone, we are having a wildlife seminar somewhere in Kampala. We couldn't put it at another day because we have a lot on the menu. Somewhere in Sheraton also, we'll be talking to the German market, those who want to interest themselves in the German market. A program led by Proceedings is also on in that place. But specifically why we're here is to launch the Tell Your Story campaign that is leading into the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, which we are unveiling today. Allow me once again to also recognize the Permanent Secretary who is with us here, Madame Doreen Katusime. Thank you so much for joining and officiating this particular function. And in the same spirit, recognize our host, Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia. Thank you so much for being with us. The chair of Uganda Tourism Board is with us, Madame Paul Kakoza. Thank you so much for being with us. And definitely the CEO has been introduced, Madame Lily Ajarova. You are welcome as well. May I also recognize the president of Uganda Tourism Association, Madame Yogi Birigwa. Thank you so much for being with us. It's always a blessing to have the private sector with us. The tourism police is with us. And the commandant, Madame Mastura Kugonza, thank you so much for being with us. And allow me also to recognize the representative of the ED of CAA, Bwana Marvin Kagoro. Thank you so much for being around as well. A lot of members are with us. I did see Mr. Stephen Masava, Director Business at the Uganda Wildlife Authority. Thank you once again for being with us. The number of partners that are joining us today, and of course, like I told you, the season is quite busy. Some are split in various areas, but allow me to recognize KCCA is with us. Capital City Authority is with us, and we are grateful to have you. Uganda Airlines is with us, and we are grateful to have you as well in this event. Nakao is with us. Those into the art and craft industry, they are with us. The Miss Tourism campaign and the beautiful Miss Tourism ladies are with us, and they will be introduced to you in the goodness of time. We do have OTO, the Association of Uganda Tour Operators, and of course the Travel Agents Association along with us, and the Hotel Owners Association. We are a full package that is with us today. Like I did say, we are launching the campaign leading us to Poate, that is the Tell Your Story campaign, and a lot will be talked about. I do see quite a number of influencers who will be introduced to you so that they tell you the story of what Uganda is, the beauty of Uganda, and encourage all to be part of this exposition. Finally, we'll launch the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2025, and this time we're looking at tourism and sustainable transformation. A lot you can see. There is very limited paper, if you can, if you noted very well. You can also see very limited plastic bottles moving around, and quite a number of other initiatives. Utilization of our digital platforms and all that are themes that we are going to be selling out in this biggest tourism exposition coming on. Salvador, I want to thank all for coming, especially the media, for coming and shining a light on this all, and allow me to say you're most welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vivian, the Commissioner for the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities. Like he mentioned, this year's theme is tourism and sustainable transformation. And this year, we are going to launch a campaign called Tell Your Story, Tell My Story. We want, everybody has a story when it comes to tourism. Whether consciously or subconsciously, we each have something to talk about tourism. My love for domestic tourism in this country was amplified when myself and I think Ann Kansime were chosen to become Wild Aid ambassadors. The idea, at first we were very excited because, you know, the money was good. But it went more than the money and the facilities we got. We got to learn about this vice called poaching. And the two animals that were focused on were rhinos and elephants. We saw the dangers of poaching, especially with the elephants, and those man-made traps that were being put in the reserves, in the game parks. It was really touching, and that is when my love for domestic tourism was really, really born. I've always been, you know, looking around thinking, these things are for tourists, people from out. But after that experience, my love for tourism really, really shot over the roof. And I'm proud to say that I am contributing. I'm doing my part as a tourism ambassador and as a lover of every beauty that we have in this country. And now to share our story, I would like to call upon the ambassadors for this year who are going to be exciting the masses out there, who are going to be encouraging the masses out there to go out there and tell their story. We want each and every one of us as Ugandans to share something they have experienced when it comes to tourism in this country. So please allow me invite on the panel one of the most sought after comedians in the country. She has done exceptionally well, not just in the country, but on the continent and in the world. She has been recognized worldwide for her wonderful art, and she's here with us, and she's going to share with us her story. So please allow me welcome the wonderful Anne Kansime. In the same accord, allow me invite this guy. I think he has been on every tourism expo. I think he was one of the people who founded the expos when it comes to tourism here in Uganda. This guy has seen it all. He has done it all. He has single-handedly promoted a sport that we didn't know, that we thought was for Bayaye. He made it recognized internationally and nationally here in this country. Please allow me to invite the indomitable Golola Moses. Shining the lights on West Nile. Allow me invite this sister of mine. We are two experts from West Nile who are very famous. The rest, they are not, we don't know them. She's here with us. She was part of a group called Blue 3, which revived its course this year and last year, and they have done amazingly well. And she's here to join us and tell us the story about West Nile. I hope it's going to be about West Nile. Let's put our hands together for the beautiful Jackie Chandiro. And one of the gentlemen who is responsible for one of the most interesting MIBs, Njagala Vaibu, Njagala Vaibu. He is an amazing photographer, and he has been responsible for showcasing the beauty of this country in the different exhibitions that he has had, and is here with us. He's going to join us here. Please welcome Mr. Derek to join us here on stage. Then finally, allow me to invite a gentleman who came from the Power Stars from Talent Africa. He's an amazing gentleman. I don't understand his music, but his music has made him travel across the continent. He's here with us, and he's also going to help us share his story. Please allow me welcome Mr. Brian Alike? Alikedi? Alideki? Yeah, even the name is confusing. Alideki, welcome. All right, these are our tourism ambassadors, the campaign ambassadors of Tell Your Stories, and I will each give them a minute or two to highlight, to share their beautiful stories about what makes this country truly the Pearl of Africa. I'll start with Mr. Brian on the left, and then we will move towards Jackie. Brian? Yeah, just borrow that microphone. You are a VIP. Yes.
Greetings from Uganda, the evergreen country. Alideki Brian. I would like to give out a small experience that I've gotten through the many times I've traveled the country. One is the culture, that everywhere you go, culture is expressed, is embraced. When you go to Karamoja and you enter into their small huts, when they start singing, yo, yo, mata, yo, yo, the moment you get out and in the evening you come back, they don't remember the songs they were singing. They are going to get new songs. And then you say, You guys, you can't remember what you're singing. No, we have very many songs. We can't even remember what we were doing. So that was a very nice experience. And then I realized that our traditions are still standing strong, and it's part of tourism, which I really, 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 really appreciate. Yeah.
That personally feels so short, but putting that aside, I am from West Nile. I don't know how I should introduce myself. Diplomatically, my name is Jackie Chandiru, but the way people know me outside there, is it okay for me to introduce myself? It's bad gala gangster, straight from Kijomora, Marachaluba, Mazamba, Zamba, Kwari, Jackie Chandiru. I haven't said anything bad. However, I've spoken about the power it is that I have as a woman from West Nile, from northern Uganda. And I've just said I am from northern Uganda, I am the girl from soil, and I am Jackie Chandiru. Good morning or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am more than privileged to sit here today and for the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. And there's so much I believe that you can get or see when it comes to tourism in Uganda. However, just for a small part, if I take you a little bit upstairs there's a lot of things it is that we have. I will leave the cream or the best part of what you can find in northern Uganda for the end of this. We have stuff like national parks. We have, there's different things you can, we have the Makshon Falls National Park, for example. I have been there before, and it is beautiful, though I'm scared of one thing, the gorge that leads into the Devil's Cauldron, because I keep thinking so many things about it. However, if I stand and look at it from a different point of view without having to look at it from where it starts from, personally, the person who has height phobia and water phobia, I love it, and it's extremely amazing, beautiful. We've got so many national parks, that's another thing, and we have got, there's rare birds that you get to look at. There's the shoebill, for example. It's not a bird that you get to see everywhere. However, at Kidepo, you get to see birds like that at a specific time, specific place. So it depends on as long as you have the interest. If you wake up in the morning and you choose to go and look at things which are different, things which you don't see every day, you will definitely find them. That aside, I'm very privileged and happy to be here alongside everybody on the panel. When it comes to West Nile, for example, I will speak highly about that, though I'm from Uganda. Golola Moses, at a certain point, wanted to marry me because, truth or lie?
That's why I'm still single. That's why I'm still single. Still waiting for you. I know one day, one time it will happen.
So I told him he has a lot to do. I didn't want to ask Golola for so many cows or so many things that come with my tradition. For example, when it comes to the Lukbara, because I'm a Lukbara. But I said, Golola, give me time, win my heart. Golola fought so many matches, and he beat so many people, but every time he got money, he never gave me a percentage.
Oh, no.
So that aside, I am very happy to be here on the panel with you, so that means you have one more chance to win my heart from West Nile. And you can pick everything it is from your culture and bring it to my culture. There's different tribes here. Anne can see me. I am so happy we can fight so many wars together as a Mochiga and a Lukbara. The name is Jackie Chandiru. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jackie. I will request Derek to tell us the inspiration of Njagala Vaibu, Njagala Vaibu.
Yes. Njagala Vaibu, Njagala Vaibu. All protocols observed. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Derek Senyonyi. I am a Ugandan storyteller. I do this full time. I wake up to look for stories and to go and to tell different stories from any part of our country. What a beautiful time to be alive. What a beautiful time to be in the tourism industry. 5-6 years ago, it was mainstream and the traditional media. For you to get any information about tourism, you had to go to TV or the print. That is the only way we used to get more information about tourism. Right now, content creators, influencers, Ugandans, the wananchi, we are involved in this entire production and telling the story of our country. I think we have a beautiful country, and I want to tell you a story of Mountain Rwenzori. When I went to Mountain Rwenzori a few years ago with Madame Lily Ajarova, that mountain is beautiful, very beautiful, like I've said it. I am very fit. I run, I hike, I jump, I do everything. As you can see, a young man who is able to do everything at a pace. The mountain got me on day 2. On day 2, I was already complaining and already crying of the coldness on the mountain. But we are still on the bottom of the what? Of the mountain. We are just starting. We had 5 days ahead to go. Every day, everyone knew that if you need someone who is freezing, who is complaining, it's Derek. By the time we got to the peak, I pushed and I made it to the peak. I had my camera bag, I had equipment, I was shooting and going back and forth, no yambuka, no kirira, no mulindo omuntu akoye. So I had to find a way of telling that. By the time we got to the peak, I was out. I was really out. The mountain is beautiful when you're up there, and my biggest wish is to see that each and every Ugandan, wherever that you are, get a chance to get up there, because it will change your perception about this country.
So, you said 2 days. So when you reached in the middle,
Yeah.
you sleep. You wait to continue climbing.
So what happens? It takes you 5 days to go
To
up,
where?
to go to the peak. You wake up, you hike, you sleep.
It's a long time.
You have to make it to the camp. If you don't, I'm among the people who used to be last at the camps. You get to the camp. I had 2 porters, 2 ladies who were carrying most of the luggage. Those ladies could stand and wait for me and be like, take your time, we are here. Whenever you're ready, we are going to push. So we get to the peak. At the point of coming back, when we are done, we've shot everything, we've documented the mountain, now we are coming back. And I passed out. It is very normal on that mountain to pass out because the oxygen levels are very down. So I pass out with all my gear, my equipment. By the time I wake up, I'm seeing guys, everyone, the guides are like, and I'm like, what's happening? So I didn't even know that I'd passed out myself. The moment I got up and opened my hands, I'm still at the peak of the mountain. And I'm like, I think the mountain is not your mother. That is the first word that came out of my mouth. The mountain is not your mother. Like, your mother can be nice and what? But mountains?
Not your mother.
Not your mother. They don't joke. So I'm always grateful that I got a chance to hike that mountain and to share this story with you. To fellow content creators, fellow creatives, photographers, storytellers, whatever, Jolly. A few days ago, I met the President of the Republic of Uganda. That was my first time to meet him. I had never met him. But I met him because of what I do, because I tell stories, because of the photographs of this country. And I'm so glad and grateful that I got that opportunity to meet him and tell him, sir, hi, my name is Derek. We are there, we are many. We are many of us that love this country, that just need platforms like this, that just need campaigns like this, that encourage many Ugandans to come up and tell their story. My name is Derek Senyonyi, for God and my country.
Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful story you shared there, Derek. I like the part where you say that when you passed out, you didn't know that you had passed out. Of course, you can't know when you have passed out. That is the whole idea. talking about challenges, I think I want to challenge myself, the Vice President of the Public Sector Foundation, Sarah, the Myth, and Marvin Kagoro. The four of us should take on the challenge of mountain climbing. I am very, very sure the stories are going to be very interesting. The number of passing outs are going to be documented in history as the highest ever recorded in the history of mountain climbing.
In less than
No,
24
I'm
hours.
sure day one, we shall ask for a chopper. So in the same accord, please allow me invite the beautiful Anne Kansime, who is also a proprietor in this tourism business. She's an investor, by the way, this small girl you see here. So please, share with us your story.
Mwena mujirengwe. No. Mwena mujirengwe. If you don't answer, then I can't say anything else. So when I say mwena mujirengwe, I'm saying all of you saying we, including you. So, mwena mujirengwe. Mwena mujirengwe. Rutaka shungu kwa nyina shungu bakachana kwa butabuni kwa rwani sana rwani so atata sarakiri makakwa tamish abarabona bambumba tera mwena mujirengwe. Mwena mujirengwe. Kata machuma kunitengani kwa nirwana ni jahanu ya munyonyo na mgeni nayo boshitamono jure white azife mbaga ne yawe twena tuli hanu ya twena turya bakabi twena turya barambuzi ba explore Uganda mwena mujirengwe. Where I come from is Chigezi. It's a land dominated by short people because of the mountains and hills that we climb right from birth. It's a mountain it's a place that is surrounded by people with so much energy because we have no option. Because of the foods that we eat Irish potatoes. Imagine, you eat Irish potatoes, you add chips, then you get potato juice, you eat it as crisps. It's potatoes from morning to evening, but we call it a balanced diet. That is the land I come from. We are not rude. We are just audible. Because we sleep, yes, we are audible. You have to hear me. Now, when you hear me, you think I am rude. Yet, I am just really being as vibrant and speaking with the concoche that is expected of the people from my village. I grew up in Kabad, born and raised by two parents who rested. May their souls rest in peace. But my fondest memory is me wearing a lime green tracksuit, my brother wearing a pink one. Apple was wearing a pink one. Then Allen, my big sister then, used to wear white. And we were on my father's first pickup, 138 UCJ. Mommy had cooked pilau in a saucepan. Pilau those days was different. Rice these days doesn't even smell the way pilau used to smell those days. So they had put a crate of Fanta. There was a kavera of Daddy's Uganda Waraj, which was in the corner, and we were on the pickup going to Lake Bunyonyi. We used to do it every once in a month, and I remember when we get off the car, Daddy would put my young sister on his shoulder. I can vividly remember that, and I remember saying, I think we are rich. You know, we were not a rich family. We never used to sleep hungry, but we were not rich. But for me, looking at us as a family, going to Lake Bunyonyi, just to play by the deepest lake, I have a feeling it is a memory that every family deserves here in Uganda. And it stayed with me long enough, and I promised myself that I would make sure that is something that I can afford for myself and the people I call my own. Which is why I was so excited when I got an opportunity to be a part of the investors that come here to show us that they can do things. And I put up something small. I call it a backpackers because I don't want anybody to put me under pressure. When I come, what service? How many? I say backpackers. If you want 5-star service, you can just across. Badness can give you 5 stars. Here, backpackers. For us, we have cooked potatoes. We cooked our pumpkins with beans to again penjere. Sometimes we drink bushera because it is Kansime's backpackers. I love my culture and where I come from so much. I have sold it at every turn, willingly and unwillingly, because God favored me with an audience I never saw coming. And authenticity is the best flag. being who I am from the beginning, no matter where I have been, Orujungu Rwanje, I speak in capital letters because education was not cheap. So everywhere I go, they're like, who is that small girl in capital letters? And I'll tell them I'm from Uganda. I have been flattered by my ninjas by saying when they travel all around the world and they talk about Uganda, they're like, hey, we know a mad girl coming from Uganda. And for me, there's no greater inspiration. Abachiga baragira ngo chikuru n'amagara. So I just pray for life for every Ugandan to have a chance to visit the beautiful Uganda because it's so beautiful. I was a conductor for 3 years in minibus, a bus that took me everywhere in Uganda. At that point, I have a feeling I took it more for granted because it was a job, but it gave me an opportunity to truly see for myself how the beauty of Uganda is endless. When she starts speaking about her place, I'm like, eh? She thinks, eh? This one starts speaking about people concocting songs by the fire. What the hell do you mean? Even us, we were doing it in our village. What am I saying? Everyone here should rightfully be proud of where they come from. Because Uganda is such a beautiful country. I love my country so much, so much. Given a chance to stay anywhere else, anywhere I have been, and there are so many places, I would come back home. Because there's no place more beautiful than Uganda.
Wow, beautiful. Big words from a small girl.
Stop.
And our final panelist, Golola Moses. Golola, we have no time. Summarize.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor and all our guests from different places, you're so welcome. Good afternoon. My name's Golola Moses of Uganda. I am a champion kickboxing as well. I do boxing. I am a brand and I'm an ambassador. I want to thank God for today. This is so amazing. We are talk about your story. When I talk about my story, I can even speak it for 2 days. But what I want to tell the people, what I want to tell the world that as they say that Uganda is a really part of Africa, I have visited it and I really came to understand that really it is a part of Africa. When it is talk about tourism, in all regions there is tourism. Northern Uganda, Western Uganda, Eastern Uganda, Central Uganda. Doesn't matter where you are visited, but you need to know the real location for that best thing you are looking for. The experience I've had in tourism, it's so amazing. I remember when I was in Gulu, those guys, they have their dance. I danced with those guys. That was a very strong dance. I can't even forget. I have visited and I've also tried to visit by myself. There was a time when I was headed by Mr. Masava. He told me to go and do a survey about Mountain Elgon. Mountain Elgon, we went there with my colleague Alex. We were received by Mr. John. He's the head of the tour guide about that place. They told us that hiking Mountain Elgon, it will take us 4 to 5 days. But I want to tell you, for us, we hiked it for 1 day. It's not a joking subject. Whereby even the time we are supposed to relax and have a refreshment, for us we already had the energy. The guides were like, oh my God, we have never seen such kind of the hike people like us. Okay. So we hike it in 1 day. So the challenge I got was about mountain result. I had my colleague say, he collapsed, he didn't see all the challenge we went through. But I came to understand that Mountain Renzol is one of our biggest mountains in Africa. It was my first time to hear the glacier. I reached at the glacier and they said, oh my God. They told us about the pretty things we are going to meet. We saw them. I was the only person reached to the top when I was having a smile. Everyone was looking very gloomy. But because of the journey, and I came to understand that everyone can make it. I even came out with a tour with Gola Moses, where fitness, wellness, and local tourism meet. I came to discover that most of our people in town there, they don't want to tour. They feel that touring is only for the people who are coming out from Uganda, out of Uganda, but touring is for everyone. So I told them this time it's going to be wonderful. Get out of your office, get out of your working place, come and tour. It's the only way you can rehabilitate your brain. You can feel that you feel the change in your life. Many people have their money, but they have not taken their time of enjoying themselves, taking care of themselves. So when you tour, when you go for an adventure, there are so many things you get. Your brain doesn't remain the same. Your feelings doesn't remain the same. So it doesn't matter where you have visited. We have visited all parts of Uganda, and these parts are beautiful. So me, I just want to call all Ugandans that you visit and see. Come and tell your story. For me, my story is too big. I can't even. Let me forgive you, my people. But I want to thank Talent Africa because it has been bringing me in wherever there is a trip. And what I want to tell also the minister and the guest of honor, I came with also with the team. They are Wikimedia. Wikimedia, they want to start documenting the stories of tourism so that people out there, they can see and know more about tourism. I love culture and I promote culture. They want also to start documenting culture. As you see, many things are coming. The cultural places are getting destroyed. But if these things are documented, our young children and those who want to know about Uganda, you will have a chance to read and understand about Uganda. I want to thank the host, my brother from a different mother, Salvador. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together for our panelists, Brian, Derek, Golola, Anne, and of course, Jackie. Thank you so much. You can take your seats back in the audience as we go on to the next item. And that is to... Oh, let us have a photo moment for the campaign ambassadors. Please, just let's have a photo moment. I call upon my photographers to come and capture this moment while seated and while standing. Let's do this real quick. Let us put our hands together one more time for our campaign ambassadors. And just to re-emphasize, the campaign is Tell Your Story. Now, this doesn't just stop with the ambassadors. This goes to each and every one of us. No matter who you are, this is a chance for us to showcase our beautiful country by telling our story. One thing I am very, very proud of being a comedian is there is endless stories, endless jokes to make about this beautiful country. Of late, especially on X, you can't fail to get something to talk about who's who and who's not. So each and every one of us, we implore you to please be part of this. And this is just the overview of what you are supposed to do. Remember, it's not just coming. We are going to recognize those who are exceptionally good at telling their stories, at capturing them, at revealing them. And it's very, very simple. The Tell Your Story, Explore Uganda is an exciting digital campaign designed to showcase the beauty, adventure, and culture of Uganda through the eyes of its travelers. Now, we invite everybody, locals, tourists, travel enthusiasts, well-wishers, everybody to share their unique Ugandan tourism experiences and inspire others to explore the Pearl of Africa. Remember, tourism is not for the foreigners, even us here. When we go out there and we share a story of something we have experienced, that is tourism. Now, how to participate? Like I told you, we shall be recognizing those who have showcased exceptionally well by either storytelling, visuals, design, or just mimicking whatever you've experienced. It's very, very simple. You can just come, tell your story, and you win different trips, yeah? When you tell your story, you can win a fully paid trip to leading Ugandan tourism destinations. You can choose any. We have so many. There are places I've gone and I've not believed that I'm in Uganda. I went to a place called Emburura. It is in the middle of nowhere. To get there, you pass here. But when you get there, you won't believe that this is Uganda. So the criteria is very simple. We shall be having judges who will sieve out your stories. And how will they sieve out your stories? Whatever story you have, please post it on your socials, either TikTok, Instagram, or X. And do not forget the hashtag Explore Uganda. Do not forget the hashtag Tell Your Story UG, and please copy and tag Explore Uganda. It is a handle. It's on all social medias, and we shall have judges who will sieve out and choose the 10 best stories. Now, the competition starts on the 7th of March and runs till the 24th of May, if I am not wrong. So please go out there, take a picture, record the video, post it on our social medias, and do not forget the hashtags. Those are the top 10 categories that we shall be awarding. We have the best travel photo of the year, we have the best travel video of the year, social media storyteller of the year, if you could, we have the best written story, Emerging Content Creator Award, Best Documentary or Short Film, the Best Use of a Drone Photography, Most Engaging Travel Influencer, Best Community Impact Story. If you want to get more of this information, please feel free to contact our information desk, which is on my left-hand side right there where there's a screen, and that is also going to be our center for registration. Remember, you have to first register. Yes, we have to know who you are so that when we are saving out, when we are choosing you, we will call you, and we shall have a grand gala to award and recognize all those people right here at the Convention Center during the expo, where we shall recognize all those who fall in the categories, in the top 10 categories of the Tell Your Story campaign. So in a jiffy, that is what the Tell Your Story campaign is all about for the 2025 Poate Expo that is going to be happening this year. So to tell us more about Poate 2025, who else is better suited to do that than the CEO of the Uganda Tourism Board? Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the wonderful Miss Lily Ajirova to come and tell us more about Poate 2025.
The pearl of Africa, oh yeah, none in the world like you in Africa. You Uganda, you are from Uganda.
Thank you, Salvador. Our chief guest, the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Mrs. Doreen Katusime. Dr. Sudhir Pereira, who is our host, and one of our biggest, if not the biggest investor in hospitality in Uganda. The government officials, I start with, I make recognition, special recognition of my chairperson, Mrs. Paul Kakoza, the chairperson of Uganda Tourism Board, the representative from UR, the UTA president, Private Sector Foundation, CAA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I recognize you in your various capacities. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. It is a great honor for me to welcome you at this launch of Poate 2025. Today marks another milestone in our journey to showcase Uganda as a top-tier tourism destination, not only in Africa, but in the whole world. We are excited to unveil what promises to be the most dynamic and impactful edition of Poate, the 9th edition of Poate 2025. As we prepare for this edition of Poate, I'm delighted to reflect on the success of the previous Poate event and the most recent Poate 2024 that happened in May 2024. Last year's Poate, the theme was responsible tourism. We saw an incredible turnout, support from partners, the tourism industry players, and many other well-wishers. And we had 230 exhibitors. We had 59 hosted buyers. These were travel trade partners and medias from other countries. They were from different countries around the world. We had 505 seminar participants because the seminar discussing the trend of what is happening in the tourism and travel industry across the globe is part of the menu of Poate. We had 423 trade visitors. These are people who are business people in tourism, but they did not have the opportunity to exhibit, but they still came in to do business. And they had business-to-business engagement. We had 3,050 consumers. These are interested Ugandans, inquisitive Ugandans who wanted to come and understand what is happening in the tourism sector, what exactly is happening with the Poate. And we had over 3,000 of them. These very interesting numbers of participants underscores the growing recognition of Uganda's unique offerings and our collective efforts to promote sustainable tourism. One very interesting thing for those who were at Poate last year, if you will remember, with the theme being responsible tourism, we made sure all aspects of what was happening was sustainable. And I think that has been talked to as well. And I'm so excited that with our leadership from the Ministry of Tourism, the PS, that we are enhancing the same theme of sustainability. And we are becoming one of the few African countries who are championing sustainable tourism. And we are being now known as an eco-tourism destination, a sustainable destination. And that gives us a lot of value because the global traveler is looking for a sustainable destination. So PS, thank you very much for your leadership, for allowing us, to take this path. So we really appreciate you for that. Poate has grown into Uganda's premium tourism and business networking event, bringing together industry stakeholders, global buyers, investors, media under one platform. It serves as a vital bridge connecting Uganda's tourism offerings with the world, fostering collaboration, investment opportunities, and meaningful partnership. This year, our theme is Tourism and Sustainable Transformation, which underscores our commitment to driving sustainable tourism, fostering innovations, and ensure that Uganda remains a must-visit destination for the traveler world over. Under the leadership of the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Uganda Tourism Board, the private sector players in the industry, everyone has taken on the role of promoting this country. And not forgetting our influencers, Golola and the team. Thank you very much. And the number is increasing. And there has been intensified marketing efforts in the key international regional markets for Uganda, leveraging digital innovations. I'm sure we are seeing the campaign that Uganda is running on Expedia, and that is doing magic. Just to give you a little bit of statistics, we started a campaign with Expedia in October, and after 2 months, we had spent $75,000 for that campaign, but already people who had booked to come to Uganda was worth $580,000. So what better return on investment would you need, compared to what we are getting right now? So, and a number of things are happening. Peers, our colleagues from the private sector, everyone is putting in something, and this needs to be recognized. It's not a one person's effort, it's everybody playing their part. And the call has been made. It is not only for the influencers, even as the launch of Tell Your Story campaign has been made. It is not just for the influencers. We are the Ugandans. We know our country. We live it every day. So it is upon all of us. And for those who are doing it, we appreciate you. Uganda Tourism Board will continue to take the lead with the strategies and giving guidance on how this can be done, and what markets, because we continue to do market research to understand what markets we should be targeting for the regional and international. But of course, for domestic, it is everyone, the weekenders, the families, the adventurous ones who are always in ginger, bungee jumping, going to upsail at CP Falls. It's for everyone. Let's not forget our young ones, the kids who are in school. They are the future of this country. We must encourage them. We must, as parents, as teachers, as, responsible Ugandans, to use whatever means we have to make sure that the young ones are brought on board to appreciate their country at an early stage. So our primary objective is to promote Uganda as a premium tourism destination, attracting business-to-business engagement during Poate, and this networking, something that we are getting more serious about, is to calculate the return on investment. You pay your 500,000, you get a booth, and you're exhibiting. We want to know what return did you get from that expense. You are spending 3-4 days at Munyonyo. Yeah, there's a cost of transport, of bringing you here, taking you back. Some of the exhibitors are coming from up country. They have to pay for accommodation. We really want everyone to get value for money by participating in Poate. So Uganda Tourism Board team should be helping out. We have a feedback form that from this year we would want to make sure that everybody gives the feedback on the actual business value that they are getting out of Poate, because we can't continue by just having a nice celebration, catching up with each other once a year. It should make business sense for everyone. It should make business sense for Uganda, because we sponsor international people who come here, the media, and they go talk about us, they go create more awareness, promote and market us. Government is spending money. We are here at the launch. All the decorations and everything is costing government money. So it must make sense, economic value for everyone. The industry players must see economic value for what it takes to be part of Poate. So we are very excited that after 8 editions, where we had 7 editions were physical, and 1 was a virtual expo, Poate, in 2021. That was during COVID. We have learned so much. We have gained a lot of experience, and I can't wait for Poate 2025, the 9th edition, because the accumulated experiences, it's just going to make the next Poate 2025 the best ever we have ever had as a country. And I believe that the world will pay attention to this. Guest of honor peers, I remember that at the end of Poate 2024, the president of the African Tourism Board actually made a recommendation that Poate should become the main African tourism expo. This thing of where we go to Indaba in South Africa, we go to Cape Town, we go to magical Kenya. They thought that Uganda, with the way we pulled off Poate 2024, they recommended from their observation that Poate should be positioned to become the main African tourism expo. So I hope that Poate 2025 will indeed confirm that Poate is the main African tourism expo. Thank you very much. That's about Poate. But on a personal note, I just also want, as we're encouraging each other to tell our stories, I was part of the team that went to Rwenzori with Golola, Derek, and the rest, and I am telling my story of the Rwenzori. This Friday, I will be launching a book that I've written about that experience. So we can all do it in different ways. We don't have to all do it the way Derek is doing it with his cameras. I can't hold those cameras. I don't know how to even take the best photos with this phone camera. There are those who are gifted that way. There are those who are gifted in writing. There are those who are gifted in different ways. So I encourage all of us to tell our stories. Thank you. I say all this for God and my country.
Wow. One more time, let us appreciate the CEO, Uganda Tourism Board, for that wonderful insight and highlights of what happened in Poate 2024, and of course, a brief snippet of what to expect Poate 2025. But to shed more light about Poate 2025, please allow me to invite back the Commissioner and the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Mr. Vivian, to come and also shed more light about what to expect Poate 2025.
Thank you so much, Salvador. And allow me again to thank the CEO for taking us through the highlights and how beautiful Poate 2024 was. My responsibility now is just to give you a sneak peek of the detail of Poate 2025. She did speak to some of the key objectives, of course, attracting international visitors. We need to attract as many as possible, and already the interest is quite high. Showcasing our local industry, and again, a lot is going to be done in that space. And of course, promoting sustainable tourism. Many of the concepts that were started in Poate 2024 are going to be amplified in Poate 2025. Now, in terms of the program, we'll begin on Wednesday, May the 21st. We'll have a regional conference on tourism in which we'll be promoting regional tourism. You should know probably 90% or 80% of the traffic that comes into this country is from our regional neighbors. And it's not unique, it's all everywhere. I mean, those who go to France, a majority are from within the European Union. Those who go to the US, the majority are from within. So yes, a majority of our traffic comes from Kenya, comes from Rwanda, Tanzania, and the rest. And we'll be talking about how best to promote that. We'll have a grand opening on that very day and an exhibition that will open. We'll have our second day on Thursday, May the 22nd. And in this one, we'll focus on tourism and investment. How do we invest in the tourism industry? And I'm glad to say and announce that Dr. Sudhir Pareria will be there to share some of these insights on how best we should be investing in the tourism industry. That will be an exciting moment for all of us, but the exhibition will continue as well, and many of the other exciting events for our hosted buyers. Remember, the hosted buyers will have come a little earlier. We'll have taken them around the country to appreciate, and then they will come to interface with our local tourism operators and agree on how to do business. On Friday, that will be May the 23rd, we'll have a destination marketing symposium. And here we'll be focusing on how do we promote the destination as best as we can. We have lead speakers coming in there, and I think the lead speaker will be the CEO of MTN Uganda, Madame Linge. She will be there with quite a number of other people as we'll keep unveiling to you the business that will happen on that day. The exhibition will continue, the deal making will continue, the B2B business will continue, the business meetings, and we'll have a Kampala by night on that specifically. Saturday, on the 24th, we'll have a festival day, and quite a number of other exciting things will be there. Of course, just to give you a little more detail on what we'll have during the regional conference, we'll talk about travel facilitation. How do we move? The debate now is about visa-free movement of people. The debate is about digitizing visa and so many other policies that we need to put in place. That discussion will happen. We'll have a transboundary product development program. How do we move and share these products? We share a lot of products with Kenya, with Rwanda, with Sudan, and so on and so forth, and that discussion will be there. Inspiring regional travel is another thing that we'll focus on, and promoting as one. How do we promote East Africa as one? On the second day, we'll focus on tourism, investment, and again, what are the hospitality trends? Where is hospitality going? What kind of investment should we focus on? But many people are really troubled with the issue of financing. How do I attract the necessary financing for tourism? And that discussion and experts will be around to help us walk that journey. And green investment. The CEO did talk about the move towards sustainability. Uganda being recognized for its role in sustainability. So how does this look like in terms of investment? And that will be our discussion. Again, on day 3, which will be our final day of the discussions, we'll focus on domestic marketing. How do we get Ugandans to travel across the country? And good enough, we've been telling our story, and that campaign will continue on to the dates of Poate. Regional marketing, how do we move around the region? And e-marketing, this is the way to go, e-marketing. So that will be the focus on day 3. I will invite you to the very last day of Poate, which will be the festival day, the Pearl Festival Day. And in that, we'll enjoy ourselves in the boating regatta. We'll have cultural showcases and indulge in those delights of craft, the food village, the art and craft show, and the fashion extravaganza. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the menu that we'll have. And of course, we'll cap it all with celebrating the spirit of Uganda with good entertainment. In a nutshell, that is where we are. Thank you so much. That is Poate 2025.
Thank you so much, Commissioner, Ministry of Wildlife, Tourism and Antiquities, Mr. Vivian, for that insight and the highlights of what to expect this year on Poate. I would like to take a special moment to recognize Mr. Marvin Kagoro. For those who have traveled outside Uganda and have used the airport, you've seen the new look of the airport. And this is one of the people who was behind it from Civil Aviation Authority. I want to recognize you. Thank you for transforming our airport from a supermarket to an actual airport. I would get embarrassed most of the times when I'm using the airport. But now it looks nice. So many people don't want to leave because of the beauty and because of the hard work and the perseverance that your team put in. We really do appreciate. Right now, I would like to invite the different stakeholders who are going to be responsible for ensuring the smooth flow and the success of the Poate 2025. And they're going to form a panel. We shall be asking them some questions to highlight what we should expect and what we should look forward to. So please allow me invite the proprietor of Ruperia Group, who is the chairman, and of course our host for the Poate 2025, His Excellency Dr. Sudhir Ruperelia, to come and join me here on the panel. In the same accord, allow me invite the chairperson of Uganda Tourism Board, Ms. Pearl Kakoza, to also join us on the panel. Then please let us welcome the president of the Uganda Tourism Association, Ms. Yogi Birigwa, to also join us here on stage.
Uganda the pearl of Africa, the land of beauty, good people everywhere. Uganda the pearl of Africa.
Ms. Yogi Birigwa now identifies as a man.
Good people everywhere.
Allow me welcome the director, Uganda Wildlife Authority, Mr. Stephen Masaba, to also join us here on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for our panelists who are the stakeholders of the Poate 2025. I would like us to dive deep into the mode of discussion today, with our theme being tourism and sustainable transformation. My first question goes to the chairperson, Uganda Tourism Board, Ms. Pearl Kakoza. Now, Poate has grown into one of the biggest tourism trade shows in Africa. What are the key objectives of Poate 2025, and how does it fit into Uganda's border tourism strategy?
Wow. Thank you very much, Salvador. That is a loaded question. and I'm sure I'll be helped in answering that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking forward to welcome all of you to Poate 2025, which is going to be better than what we had last year. Poate, Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. One of our main reasons why we hold Poate is to expose potential visitors from what we call our emerging markets or source markets to the beauty of Uganda. By this, of course, as the CEO mentioned, we sponsor familiarization trips to different parts of Uganda, which we hope the people we have selected, carefully selected, will come and be, use the term, influencers themselves, to encourage their following to come and visit Uganda. And this is done internationally. Another one of our thrusts is investment in tourism. I know you all will talk about how they have given out several concessions, there were some leases which had expired, so there are concessions to be had in our national parks. Uganda should also be known as the home of Robusta coffee. That is something personally close to my heart, because Robusta was discovered in Uganda in 1890 at the shores of Lake Victoria. So the coffee that is grown in Venezuela, Brazil, Cambodia originates from Uganda. And our story is Uganda is the home of Robusta coffee. We're looking to have development in what we call new tourism products. For example, agro-tourism, combining agriculture and tourism, and not just looking at each one separately. I'd like to really thank the government for putting tourism for the first time ever at the center stage. We have the ATMs, agriculture, tourism, what was the M? Minerals and IT, yes. So we're really, really very proud that we have come this far, and we look forward to the investment because we have a mandate to grow tourism by tenfold to satisfy our NDP 4.
Wow, thank you so much, Ms. Pearl, for that wonderful insight. The next question goes to Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia. Now, Speak Resort Munyonyo is hosting the Poate 2025 at its brand new convention center. For those who have not been there, it's a marvel. It is every artist's dream to hold a concert or a show in that convention center. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Fully fledged 100% if you have money. So, what role do world-class venues like this, like the convention center, play in positioning Uganda as a top MICE destination? For those who don't understand what MICE is, MICE stands for Meetings, Incentives, Conferences, and Exhibition. What role do world-class venues like this play in positioning Uganda as a top MICE destination?
Thank you, Salvador. I think it's very important for a country to have a proper convention center. I think there was one which was built in 60s when the Nile Conference Center, and it had served its purpose for many years. But since the economy has grown and the demands, for a big convention center has arisen, and hence we, in order to hold a big international conferences, there was a JV done with the government of Uganda, where we were asked to build a convention center, which would host non-aligned nations, in South China, a conference in January 24. We successfully built the convention center within a year, and now it is probably one of the largest in Africa, combining 34 conference rooms, and Victoria Ballroom is one of them, and Spig Ballroom, and the main convention hall that we built. Now it is very important to have an infrastructure which can hold conference with high profile meetings. And I think in Uganda we have done it now. We are probably much larger than Rwanda, and probably in the setting which is in, it's on the shores of Lake Victoria. It's with an amazing ambience, with a lot of greenery, with a lot of green areas. And we have a lot of accommodation on site as well. So it's a combined, facilities. Now, when you have a convention center, it attracts large conferences and small as well, which adds to your GDP. People from outside come to Uganda, they come for the conference, then they actually go up country to see the animals, and so it adds value all around, up to the farmer, because we consume food here, and when the food is consumed, it goes right to and benefits the farmer, all the way through. And also it promotes the eco-tourism, cultural heritage, and responsible travel. And it also attracts new investment when people come here and see the country and the beauty of Uganda. Some people end up liking the place, and finding this becomes they want to spend time here. So I think there's an added value all over, to have an infrastructure, world standard. Thank you.
You have, I would like to stick with you a bit because this, I think, follows through. You've talked about the importance between collaborations, private sector and the government. Because when it comes to tourism, what are the key investment opportunities? You have highlighted some of them. The key investment opportunities in Uganda tourism sector, and how can the private sector collaborate with the government to drive tourism growth?
We currently own about 11 hotels in Kampala, and own and operate them. Out of that, we have a convention center, we have a JV with the government, and we are 50-50 partners in the new convention center. We are also JV in Munyonyo Commonwealth, where we own 75% and government holds 25%. It was built during the Commonwealth Head of States meeting in 2008. Now, there are a lot of schemes which are available for investment loans for hotel industry. Some are supported by European Union, some are, African, the PTA bank and all that. And also the local banks are there to support also if you have a good project. But for us, we've not needed any of that.
Thank you, Mr. Dr. Sudhir, for that wonderful insight. Representing the Uganda Tourism Association President is the Secretary General, Mr. Stephen Mwanja, and this question goes to you. Now, Uganda is blessed with incredible natural attractions and cultural heritage. How can we effectively market the country to ensure it stands out in the competitive global tourism landscape?
Thank you, Salvador. The name is actually Peter. Peter Mwanja.
Yes, sorry, Peter Mwanja.
But that's okay. My president is here. She chose to test if I can represent her at other forum. But my president, if you could wave to my people. So anyway, thank you for that question. First and foremost, Uganda rides on past praises and rhetoric. We ride on Gifted by Nature, we ride on Pearl of Africa, and there's many more. So that already tells us that we have a good standing point. And what we now need is the collaboration and goodwill between government and private sector. That, as we have all seen, is already happening. For example, at Poate, since 2019, I think, the chair will always be from government and the co-chair is from private sector. We put things together. Now, that is propelling the destination, showing everybody that there's goodwill and there's good line for investment. Now, once we have that, we move to the product. When Winston Churchill came and said, Uganda is the Pearl of Africa, and the narrative that follows, that alone will not carry us for another 100 years. We have now to continue leveraging on that to find more product. So today we have the second largest freshwater lake in the world. We're not using it as we should. If, for example, we develop products on Lake Victoria and people can enjoy sailing, in the 1960s, we had a ferry that used to ride from Jinja to Kisumu, and people would take holiday on that. These are things that need to be revived. So we need to improve on the product that we can go out and sell. Rather than keep saying Uganda and gorilla, we can say gorilla and Lake Victoria and all the other things, culture. We've got very good people, very welcoming people. So that's a strong thing that we have. The other point, Salvador, I'd like to bring out is our human resource. We are looking at so many, tourism alone employs over 1.5 million people. But how many of those have the quality in hospitality training that would, for example, work into a 5-star facility? I was told when, I think it was last year, I was told by the management of this resort that this resort alone employs over 1,200 people. What if we had similar projects like this, maybe 10 other projects? That would increase our employable skills by another tenfold. And that comes with training, and that comes with recognition, and that comes with a lot of marketing, because every product needs to be marketed. So we have something there that we need to do. We are looking at a country that has so many enthusiasts and people that want to invest in tourism. Now, when somebody asks, I love mice, so when somebody asks, I want to take a conference to Uganda, where can it go? I have 1,000 people. We have one convention center. But what if there are 3 that are interested in the same month? We become overwhelmed and they keep going away. So the other thing that Uganda really, really desperately needs is 3 more Sudirs to put up similar facilities. Then we can go out there and say, in Uganda, you can host 5 international conferences at the same time, and there's no interference. So that's something that we need to do. Now, the other thing that my fellows in the private sector will always cry about is how we manage negative information. If, for example, the UK, or I'm sorry to mention, puts on their website that Uganda is a no-go zone, all the tourists from that area will not come. How private sector and government manage this story and how they communicate with the counterparts in the different nations will eventually manifest in who comes to visit Uganda, who brings a conference, and who does business with us, who invests here. So if we can look at these things and interest everybody that to manage information is key, that if I see a road accident in the national park, I shouldn't just broadcast it to the entire world. If I see that there's Ebola, for example, coming out in maybe Mubende, and I work with Ministry of Health and Ministry of Tourism and the Information Center, and we craft a document that safeguards everybody in this country and in the other countries, which gladly the Ministry of Health has embraced, and it's now happening. So a lot of those should continue to be embraced, and I think it is thanks to our ministry and all the government enterprises that are working and putting private sector at an equal footing. I think we should be doing a lot of exposition for this country. I think that Uganda will be more marketable. It's already rising, it's a shooting star, but I think it's going to come. Of course, and finally, the tourism board. They do a lot to market this country. If we don't support them with their initiatives, we probably wouldn't get to where we are. So the idea of compatibility, collaboration, and working together is also a key factor in making Uganda a better destination and a growing destination for visitors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. There has been a lot of emphasis on the private sector. Madam Sarah Kajing, I hope you're taking notes. We need more power from the private sector to collaborate with government in order to see that we hit our heights. This one goes to Mr. Masaba. I would like to call you Afande. Afande Masaba. Growing up, I always thought that when they talk about tourism in Uganda, it's wildlife. I didn't know that Amaberega Nyinamwiru is also part of tourism. The Crater Lakes, I didn't know that. For me, every time they talked about tourism, I knew the game parks, the game reserves, the zoo, where I see animals. This one goes to you, Afande Stephen Masaba, the Director, Uganda Wildlife Authority. Now, wildlife tourism is a major contributor of Uganda's economy, without a doubt. How is Uganda balancing conservation efforts with increasing tourism demand, and what sustainable models are being implemented?
Thank you very much. Uganda Wildlife Authority's mandate is to conserve the resources, especially the natural resources in the protected areas, so that the current population that we have and the future populations can continue to benefit from these natural resources that we protect on behalf of the country. Our role as a conservation body is part of the sustainability efforts in ensuring that the resources we conserve benefit the current and future generations. And indeed, our motto is conserving for generations. That means we don't want to deplete all the resources we have for today. We want other people to benefit. Now, how are we conserving this and ensuring that people continue to benefit? We do conservation together with communities who obviously have a very critical role in ensuring that they protect the resources near them, but we also have other stakeholders that we work with, the academia, the associations, you have had tourism bodies, and also other government agencies, so that the resources we conserve can be used to benefit each and everyone. Now, in the model of conservation, we do give back to the people so they can see both the financial and livelihood benefits. We do give some money in the form of revenue share. When you come and pay money to OA, we get some 20% of that back to the communities, which they can use in developing livelihood projects. But also we contribute to the whole tourism value chain through people who set up enterprises. And the enterprises could be crafts, could be accommodation, could be investment in the park, so that everybody now who invests along the value chain benefits from this, including people that are not very closely related but connected to our business. A tour operator, for example, when he comes, he gets money through charging the tourist, but he also gives us some. So almost everybody is involved and is participating in conservation through contribution to some of the economic value to the people that we work with. One, conservation, especially at this time, is a challenge, especially that we're having a growing population and growing needs. But also, two, as a government, conservation has been prioritized so that we maintain some of our country still remaining intact for future development. If you do not do what we do now, in the long run, you'll find that the resources have gone. And how do we generate to the economic transformation of this country? Of course, people pay taxes, people earn money from this, and many people are doing a lot of business, and this is part of our contribution to the national economy. I just want to mention, and for people who are coming to Poate, the 9th edition, we have done a lot of improvements in the product we have. And I want to mention especially the key tourism attraction that brings people, the mountain gorilla. We have increased in the last 1 year a number of gorilla groups that people can come and see. And that is good. So that when people come, you expand business and also people can be satisfied. We have also grown product. For example, in the reserves, our category of conservation has a number of categories. The national parks are very clear protected areas. The reserves are more easier to access and do development. In Chambura, for example, before Queen, we have got a new lodge that has come up there. Now that is good, and that means the people there can be employed and generate an income from there. In Maxwell Falls, for example, and I wanted to mention this for those who came to Maxwell and didn't see these products, we have got a walking safari where you can walk in the park alongside buffaloes. Of course, you don't go close and touch them, but at least we protect and you ensure for 3-4 days walk, you can be able to enjoy nature. We have got a fly camp in Maxwell Falls along the river. People can come and walk along the river, camp, and then pack up their bags and then go and stay along there. That is a new development. In the southern bank of Maxwell, we have also got new investments where we have recently got a new lodge called a Tico Lodge. Why am I saying this? There are opportunities for each one of us to participate, and you too can be part of the conservation effort. We are advertising soon new investments, and Dr. Sudri should have mentioned that we are getting a convention center, a big hotel in Lake Muro National Park, and that's coming up perhaps in the next few years. If you watch the space within the next few years, you will see new advertisements coming up. As I leave this subject, I wanted also to mention how we are being seen and viewed from the outside market. In the last 2 weeks, we have been in India exhibiting as Uganda, alongside with the Embassy, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the tourism fraternity. They voted Uganda as the new emerging tourism destination. Now that's good for us. And we are asking them, in May, come and see what you already testifying there's a good potential market. That means our efforts are paying off. And so it may expect a lot of Indian population here. We were overwhelmed by the demand of the people looking for companies to partner with. So if we can continue the pressure to demonstrate and grow stewardship in this Poate 2025 edition, that means we can get a lot of people coming. And I wanted to finish, and I hope you're going to ask me on this one. I also want to tell my story. And I was touched, and I thought this is a very good one. I come from Mount Elgon area, and the people from there call Bagisu. You're just very lucky that the circumcision year has ended, because otherwise, everybody here would be checked to see whether he has complied. And if you don't, indeed the culture forces you to comply. But what comes around with the culture of circumcision is a very, very good dance called Kadodi. Now, Kadodi has grown to be one of the strongest dances in Uganda. Everywhere in Kampala, if you go, especially during the political season, whoever does not dance Kadodi does not pass elections. Yes, in Kasese it is there everywhere. So you put Kadodi and everybody goes put. Now that is the way to pass elections. So that is where I come from. The culture is very, very important. And I want you to come and see that one. And in my other personal experience, I was inspired by Dr. Lydia Jarova. When she climbed Rwenzori, the images, I didn't see Derek very much, but I know I saw you the picture there. And my brother, I went, I saw it. The meeting that we had to review when they were discussing the excursion, they said, no, the most important part of climbing a mountain is your mental preparation and optimism that you do it. Now, when I saw Dr. Lydia Jarova climb and reach on the top, there were 3. I was inspired. I said, I'll also do it. And people could not believe. So I also went, I told my colleagues in the boardroom, because they said, will you? I said, yes, I will. Because mentally, I was prepared. And the day came, the team was organized, my mental preparedness was very high. I did maybe a few runs here and there, but I was set to go. And I did Mount Rwenzori in 6 days, 5 nights, and I came down, and that made part of my history. And it's a testimony. I would like to encourage each one of you, you can do what you purpose to do, and it's possible. It doesn't have to be Rwenzori, it can be Mount Elgon, it can be Mount Sabinyo. All these things are possible, and you can tell your story. I thank you.
Thank you, Afande Masaba. You have said one of the things when climbing a mountain you need is mentality. Yes. You have forgotten weight. Yes. Weight is also very important. Yeah, because I needed to. As we part, because you have tackled most of the questions that I wanted to ask, you have really highlighted. I just want us to go with parting shots, and I'll start with Dr. Sudhir, then I go with Peter, because I believe Afande Masaba has really spoken and has highlighted and has summarized what is required for us to move forward. So I will request Peter and Dr. Sudhir to let us know before Ms. Pal comes and summarizes what the stakeholders should expect. You know, we're expecting exhibitors, we're expecting so many people. What should they expect for the Poate 2025? But I'll start with Peter and then Dr. Sudhir. Masaba, maybe if you want to highlight something before Ms. Pal summarizes. I just want to know if there's one key takeaway you want stakeholders, exhibitors, and buyers to leave with from Poate 2025, what would that be?
Thank you. I've been fortunate to work with Poate for, I think, the last 5 years. So I have a bit of history. But this year, in terms of the exhibition space, we are expecting and actually have about 260 exhibitors from within and from outside of the country. That's a step higher than last year. So Poate is growing. We have at least 100 hosted buyers from across the globe. So it promises to be a very interesting event. We've got a lot of conferences and panel sessions that will happen that time. And it's all coming along because private sector and government have put together all their uniting factors to pull this off. So as we leave, those of us that have businesses that need exposure and you have not registered, you have a very small space. You must rush and do the registration. those of us that want to attend and listen to the big speakers and the small ones, please register on that portal. You will really take out something. But also, let us, because my question initially was that we should grow this destination, let us learn something from this and grow the destination. Poate is just the one event that is national and annual that will help us put Uganda at the forefront. So the more, the merrier. Thank you.
Doctor?
Thank you. Poate is a premier tourism event showcasing Uganda's rich attractions. It brings international buyers, investors, stakeholders, boosting tourism growth in the country. With all the exhibitors coming in, you know, it's a very, you know, a grand opportunity for all the stakeholders to gain experience from it. The expo promotes ecotourism, cultural heritage, and responsible travel. Opportunity with conservation groups, local communities, and green tourism initiatives. Now, this is an opportunity for all the stakeholders in Africa and the world to come together, you know, and share experiences and ideas, and you know, and how to promote Uganda as a tourist destination. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Mr. Afande Masava.
Thank you very much. I wanted to mention that this year, Uganda Wildlife Authority scope and mandate has expanded, and we do have a tourism product offering starting from Entebbe, the zoo, right through to the national parks, and we will, in that regard, offer a seamless experience so that people who are trying to book and come can use the same avenue, using the same product booking, so that everybody who comes can experience, not contacting different centers of responsibility. The zoo and the botanical gardens offer a very good product for those people who cannot go to the parks, but it's also very good that you can put on the agenda. We know that Poate is both for domestic and international travelers, so we want to encourage people to take advantage of the domestic rates. We have Ugandan fees, we have East African fees, and those ones you can ask and we can give them to you as part of the packaging for the visitors. But however, because we're talking about sustainability, we want each one of us as a player in the sector to try to be sustainable in the way you operate business, especially for a tour operator. Try to abide by principles of keeping the environment safe. Right in your car, right in the destination that you are offering, we want to ensure that we rhyme and live the theme sustainability and transformation. As we do this, we should be the example, so when visitors come, they say, yes, this destination is indeed a sustainable destination. We are ready as Uganda Wildlife Authority. I think of late you have been seeing clips of lions in Kasenyi. They do come very close. It's of course risky for you to pass on a border, and you think the lion will spare you every year. So we're advising those who ride in the parks to be more careful. But lions are waiting, gorillas are waiting, and our people are trained and ready to serve you people who are coming to visit us in Poate 2025. I thank you.
Ms. Pearl, you can give us your parting shots and excite us about what we should expect for Poate 2025.
Right. Thank you, Salvador. Under the theme, of course, tourism and sustainable transformation. If I may reflect back, we used to have in East Africa, especially in Kenya, and they still do have it, what they call package tours, whereby you have these aircraft full of tourists, no, I'll call them visitors. They fly into Moi International Airport, offload, go to a beach resort and stay there. Package tours. Eat there, sleep there, lie in the sun, and then 5 days later, they're on their plane again and back to the UK, back to Germany, and with TUI and all these fantastic package tours that they have up to this day. Uganda never had package tours, ever. What is the damage to the environment these package tours do? Hoteliers have told us, actually, these people do not even put a lot of money into the economy, number one. And number two, their carbon footprint is so great. You know, these days we look at carbon footprint as part of our sustainability package. Their carbon footprint is so great, and at the end of the day, Uganda never had that, which in itself was a blessing. What are we looking for as a country? And our strategy is, yes, we want to increase the numbers, and we are going to increase the numbers, but in a sustainable way. We want visitors who are conscious of the environment, visitors who are conscious about where they want to spend their money to see maximum benefit, not just for a hotel, but also for the community around. That, in a nutshell, is sustainability. So that the tourism value chain is appreciated from the hotels down to the farmer, as Dr. Barelia said, and the farmer can take their children to school, the coffee farmer can grow the coffee, which he will now supply to the lodge around his plantation. That type of thing. And Uganda is very well suited for that. And I'm so glad that the world has now come around, and we are at the cusp of takeoff for our unique products. Yeah? Uganda is very, very unique in many, many ways. When Kenyans came to visit, we had the convention, Kenya Coast Tourism. Some of the tour operators said, you know, I had never traveled Uganda. She said when she encountered the gentle giants, the mountain gorillas, she said, I burst into tears, Pearl. And I said, why? She said, the emotion, it was just too much to imagine this creature has 95% DNA of human. So we have those unique selling points. Our food, Luwombo. Let me quote the new Emirates manager in Uganda. He's so excited about being in Uganda. He's not like one of those, every weekend, we have several who every weekend they go back to Dubai. No, this one stays. He said, I've never tasted such fresh food before. I've never seen such a green country before in my life. So let us take this and package it and sell it. I'm so glad. India, we have a shared heritage with India. Mahatma Gandhi's ashes are spread at the source of the River Nile. That's a unique selling point. So let us craft this and tell our story so that it is heard out there, and we make Uganda, because truly we are the pearl of Africa.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together and appreciate our panelists as they go and take their seats. We request you, Mr. DJ, to play for them some. Wonderful. As they take their seats. We're going to have a group photo with the guest of honor. You're going to be coming back to unveil something. So for now, I'll request you to first take your seats. You will be back here later. Thank you.
There's a place that your heart will follow. It's our very own, we don't need to borrow. Why, where do you wanna go? Where are the memories?
Thank you so much, Talent Africa team, for clearing the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the point of listening to our chief guest. Please let us give a resounding applause to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, the wonderful Miss Doreen Katusime, to come and give us her speech.
It's not a very good time to give a speech after all those exciting stories. But a very good afternoon to you all. And please excuse my hoarse voice. I am just recovering from a cold. And I think the commissioner, the panelists have all recognized the protocol. But just allow me to say that on behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, we appreciate each and every one of you in this room, starting with the first team, that's the influencers, to the private sector, the public sector, our sister agencies, Civil Aviation Authority, Private Sector Foundation, and our Wildlife Authority, Uganda Tourism Board, which is part of us, with the CEO and chairman, the chairperson, the media, the staff of the ministry, the staff of Speak Resort. We appreciate all of you. And maybe before I speak, I should have mentioned that Mr. Ruparelia and the Speak Resort Munyonyo offered this venue for free. So we thank you for that. And we shall be announcing what else has come in as part of the sponsorship. But we thought it was a good thing to have the launch of Poate right here, where Poate 2025 will be, so that a number of us can get the feel of what this facility has to offer. It is with great pride and excitement that we announce the 9th edition of Poate as we continue to position Uganda and the East African region as a premier tourism destination. Over the years, like everybody has said, I think the CEO made a very good analysis. Poate has grown from strength to strength. And last year, when we had Poate the first time at Speak Resort Munyonyo, everybody said it was the best of its kind, and most especially because of the world-class venue. And so I believe that Poate 2025 will be even bigger and better. So we have been growing from strength to strength, solidifying its place as a leadership platform and a marketplace for tourism buyers and sellers. Last year's edition, also held right here in Munyonyo, was a resounding success, bringing together key players in the global travel trade who also expressed interest in Uganda and Africa as a whole. This growth is a testament to our collective commitment to advancing the tourism sector and ensuring that Uganda is at the forefront of global travel. As part of the East African Community's regional marketing initiatives, Poate was identified as a strategic platform to showcase our tourism potential and to attract investment. I was very excited when I heard Dr. Ruparelia saying that when people come, even when they have come for this expo, and they see the beauty of Uganda and the potential, we even in that process attract investors. So I take this opportunity to warmly welcome our East African partner states to exhibit and promote the region alongside Uganda. Together, we can elevate East Africa's visibility on the global tourism map, and we can reinforce our shared vision of a thriving, interconnected tourism industry. This event is not just an exhibition. It is about creating real opportunities. Poate enables Ugandan tour operators and all other service providers to connect with key tourism markets at an affordable cost, facilitating linkages that drive business, growth, and economic impact. Additionally, it allows travel vendors and media professionals to experience firsthand the beauty and uniqueness of Uganda's tourism offerings, giving them the confidence to promote our country to the world. And like the CEO UTB was saying, the government invests, even the private sector invests, because they will be paying for space at the expo. But at the end of it all, there should be a benefit to government, to the private sector, to everybody that participates. So Poate 2025 is a key milestone in our journey towards achieving the tenfold growth strategy. I think Mr. Liazi talked about this, and maybe Peter Mwanja. The government has come up with this strategy of growing the economy tenfold. And for tourism, I keep saying, whereas government is saying tenfold, for us it's actually supposed to be 25-fold. So as you may know, this strategy is a vision we have set to increase tourism's contribution to our GDP by 10 times or 25 times in the coming years. Achieving this ambitious goal requires collective efforts from all stakeholders, both government and private sector, from the local communities, international partners, and events like Poate play a critical role in realizing this vision. By attracting global attention, bringing international travel agents, tour operators, and investors to Uganda, Poate will open doors for new partnerships and investments that will propel Uganda's tourism industry to new heights. The theme for this year's Poate has already been said, tourism and sustainable transformation. I just wanted to emphasize that this underscores our commitment to two critical areas. The first one being greening the tourism value chain to ensure that our industry grows in an environmentally responsible manner. And two, embracing digital transformation by leveraging technology, enhance tourism services, improve accessibility, and drive global competitiveness. Sustainability in tourism is vital for preserving our cultural heritage, for protecting the environment, and ensuring long-term economic benefits. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo will showcase Uganda's commitment to sustainable tourism through a variety of actions and initiatives. The importance of tourism to the country's economic and social transformation has been underscored in various government policy frameworks. I am glad to see the positive response of the private sector in promoting and investing in the country, and Poate is an important platform through which the government is supporting and scaling up these initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, the build-up to Poate has a number of events, and today we are launching the Explore Uganda, Tell Your Story campaign. In this program, we challenge Ugandans to visit our key attractions and share the experiences in writing, pictures, and videos using social media platforms. And I hope this campaign is going to go as far and wide as possible, especially with the young people who are very good with these platforms. And we would really like to see you embrace this campaign and share your stories. This campaign is designed to naturally build awareness and visibility of the diverse attractions in the country. I call upon all Ugandans to embrace the campaign, which will climax at the Poate 2025. Post your story using the designated hashtags and stand a chance to win and experience even more of the Pearl of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of Uganda's tourism is bright as we officially launch Poate 2025 and the Tell Your Story campaign. I encourage all stakeholders to take full advantage of these platforms, to forge partnerships, explore new markets, and contribute to the sustainable growth of our industry. It is therefore my great pleasure and honor, on behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, on behalf of my ministers who are not here. The Commissioner told you we have so many activities going on. It is my great pleasure to declare the Pearl of Africa Expo 2025 officially launched for God and my country.
All right, as we clear the podium, I would like to invite our panelists back on stage for the official launch of the Poate 2025. Our ambassadors, please join us. The queens, the Miss Tourism queens. May we have also the General Manager, Sheraton Kampala Hotel, also join on stage. We shall be unveiling in the middle screen, so let us stand on the sides for now. Let us have this photo moment real quick. All right. I would like to request everybody on stage to create space, because the middle is where we are going to unveil, to showcase. So if we could just stand on the sides. The ladies in the middle, please, let's extend a little bit behind. A little bit behind. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to direct your attention to the screens as we unveil the look of the Poate 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the look. The new look of the Poate 2025. All right, Mr. DJ, if I could have the guest of honor and the panelists first to have a photo moment in the middle of our new logo for the Poate 2025. So just the guest of honor and the panelists. The rest, if we could just move slightly on the sides. All right, could we have PSFU, the CEO, Mr. Vivian, join the guest of honor, Mr. Marvin, and the General Manager, Sheraton Hotel. Could we have the General Manager also join the picture? Let us have the ambassadors join the guest of honor. Now let us have the Miss Tourism Queens. All right, thank you so much, our guest of honor. To the media, this is your moment to ask questions, to take personal interviews. But please, I would like also to direct your attention, especially the exhibitors, to go and register on my left-hand side. There is a booth right there. We are still here. We also have another booth on my right where you can go and tell your story. For those who have a story to tell, please, you can go sit over there and you shall be recorded. For those who would like to register for the exhibitions, please feel free to join me on my left-hand side. There will be somebody, Mr. Peter, is going to be there to take all your details. Please, let's do that now, because like he said, we have very limited spaces. I would like to call Mr. Vivian one more time to conclude this function, but first explain why that look. So, Mr. Vivian, come and first explain for us that look. Then you close the function and we shall have the anthems and we shall leave at will.
Salvador, I hope you saw the PAL. The PAL, and I think the chair of the tourism board, we are interpreting you very well, Madam PAL Kakoza. We have a PAL here, and basically we're talking about the PAL of Africa, Uganda being the PAL of Africa, and indeed it is the host of the PAL of Africa Tourism Expo. It is now launched, it is open, it is a representation of the beauty of the PAL, and we are going now to do a registration. For those of you who have not been registered, please use this opportunity to register and be part of this exercise. And indeed, when our chief guest is done with that registration, we'll invite you all to the closing anthems and be free to depart. Yeah, she's registering.
As soon as the guest of honor registers, I will request us to rise up for the national anthems, for the anthems, and then this event will officially come to a close. I would like to thank you so much. My name is Vin Salvador, and I've been honored to be the moderator and the host for the proceedings that have happened this morning to the afternoon. Wish you all safe journeys, journey masses, as you go back to your businesses, and God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise up for the final anthems.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. The function has come to an end. We can leave at will.
Yeah, man, I'm Ugandan.